Welcome to the Cunt Stream, fellas. We got us, we got us a bunch of sausages in here today. We got Bruckus, Ian Miles Cheong, Ralph Retort, Schmeckel, myself, and we're about to engage in blood sports. So, Ian, Ralph, fucking kill each other. Now. Blood for the blood god.
Straight for the throat.
Straight for the throat. I want to see ears on the ground.
Rectal bleeding.
I'm a little more subdued now that I got out of jail, so I don't know, maybe.
Well, did you get all your aggression out? Like,
yeah, you know, I shanked so many people and just beat the fuck out of so many people while I was in jail. You know, it changed me, man. What can I say? I
think the most important question that's on everyone's mind. Did you get the butt pump, or
I did not get fucked up the ass while I was in jail? It just doesn't happen there. Like some people, I think there's also a misconception. If you don't know, there's a big difference between jail and prison. So this is just a county jail. There wasn't really any danger of getting my asshole raped or anything like that. So
it's minimum security.
Yeah, actually, I was in the maximum. What's funny is they have a maximum security there, and they put me there because. Which is ridiculous, but anyway. So I was in max, but the max there is still, it's nothing compared to prison. It's just, basically, I was happy to be in max because one of the perks, so to speak, of being in max was I had a cell all to myself. So not that I don't, not that I hate everybody else. I don't mind being around the other inmates, but I just like that quiet a long time, and having to sit in a cell while somebody else takes a shit and stuff like that. That's not really not really something that I wanted to do. So yeah.
You have a lot of.
I mean, I guess having a cell
there.
Say what, Ian?
Oh, did you have a lot of books to read in there?
Yeah, you know what? That's another thing that they would not let people send me books from the outside, which was annoying as fuck. But they brought a library cart every Wednesday night, and it had a pretty good amount of really good books, a lot of classics on there. So I read some Plutarch, which I'd already read a lot of that back in the day, but reread Plutarch, read a book called Founding Brothers. I read Wuthering Heights, actually, and Jane Eyre. Got my classic Bronte sisters on. And I will say this, Wuthering Heights is a lot better than Jane Eyre. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know how many people listening to the stream have actually read both those books, but I'll take Emily Bronte over Charlotte.
I was hoping to hear like a book review of 12 Rules for Life, but I guess that'll be.
That's the thing that everybody now is doing, right? Like everybody in the center, everybody on the right is reading books, reviewing them, sharing book recommendations. You know, you have PewDiePie recommending science fiction, recommending 12 Rules for Life. You have Mike Cernovich doing the same thing, and it's interesting to see that happening. It's like a movement is going on for everybody to become more educated. And I think that, I said this last night off air, but I think that a lot of the reason why this is happening is because people watch the internet blood sports, right? They watch Tonka, they watch you guys, they watch Tariq Nasheed fighting against Jarrett Taylor on a Baked Alaska stream, and they want to have that kind of knowledge to impart, right? They want to have that ability to argue your point coherently and articulate your points. Jordan Peterson says that being articulate is the most dangerous thing in the world, right? It's the most powerful thing you can be, and it's interesting to see that happening, and it's also interesting to see the backlash on the left. People are saying that reading books is now alt-right, and I listen to that and I'm like, wow. You guys really are.
Mombot that figured that out yesterday. Or I saw a tweet on Twitter.
It was Mombot,
yeah, that they were identifying writers because they were carrying around books, and that was a dead giveaway.
We were talking about that promoting hentai. That's just big anime titties.
We were talking about that last night, Ian, and we were talking about how we're starting to see how SJWs are going to let the alt-right win just because they're going to say that everything like intellectual and good they do is because they're Nazis. And they're going to kick their own selves in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, look, they try to shame people for reading on public transport. I've seen numerous tweets or Facebook posts where people will be singling out some individuals for reading 12 Rules for Life, or Milo's Dangerous, or Ayn Rand's Fountainhead. They are completely opposed to the idea of getting educated, and it's really sad.
Yeah. Hey, Schmeckel, put on your glasses.
Put on my glasses.
Yeah. You can't let Ian outdo you in the fashion department.
That's true. Ian is looking a lot nicer than me right now.
He's looking sharp, man. Ian's looking sharp. Sorry.
Hashtag no homo.
He's gonna be in the next Fast and Furious movie. He's replacing what's his name? The Porsche death guy.
Instead of heist, they're just doing a
I can't
jerk
remember
off.
his name. Is that too soon?
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, Ian,
Paul,
Ethan,
something?
either of you,
Yes,
for the audience, what was the nature of the beef between the two of you? What went on?
Who should go
Well,
first?
yeah, I guess you could say that I probably started first because back in the day, Ian Miles Cheong was big into the anti-Gamergate side of things, and I kind of got known for writing a couple hit pieces on Lee Alexander, and people really liked it, and it got all around the Gamergate community, whatever you want to call it. And so I said, that's a good idea. And there weren't that many pro Gamergate outlets, maybe like 2 or 3, Malo's, and then One Angry Gamer and me, and a lot of people on YouTube. But as far as like website outlets, there weren't really that many. And so I said, well, hey, people like this. Let me just basically go down the list of prominent anti-Gamergaters and write hit pieces on them. And so Ian was very outspoken at that time, and I said, okay, well, yeah. So I said, okay, well, this looks like a really good guy to write a hit piece on. And so I did that, and that was how I first came into contact with him. Now, I've never spoken to him at all. I interacted with him on Twitter a lot, but never spoken with him or anything like that. So that was kind of the beginning of the feud, or whatever you want to call it. And
to be fair, most hit pieces these days are usually made by people who've never actually talked to the people they're writing the hit piece about.
Yeah, well,
I mean, look at Ethan Bed-Skyver, right? People are attacking BuzzFeed, put a hit piece out on him this week, calling him harasser or whatever. And they're not the only ones. There's a few other articles. I think Inverse just put one out today doing the same thing, and they're basically slandering this dude.
Because using him using a racist like pen name like 20 years ago to write against something everybody was doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was his character. And back then, fascism didn't have the same meaning as it does today, right? Back then, fascism meant like, oh, you're going to go and punch people, and that was just his comic book character. He named his YouTube channel after it. And as you know, you can't rename your YouTube channels. So that stuck. And now people, I think Daryl Ayo, he's like some comic book guy, has been trashing Ethan for months now. And Ethan finally responded to him and said, hey, I noticed that you've been trashing me, that you've got some weird preoccupation with me. Why don't you and I just hash it out? Why don't you get on a stream, talk about it? He just asked him once, and Daryl, straight up blocked him and just said, oh, you're harassing me. You're harassing me. You're harassing me. And now every single, SJW in the comics industry is going after Ethan just for talking to this guy and saying that he's a harasser. It's ridiculous.
I hate Daryl Ayo. I've been watching videos that Diversity in Comics has been talking about with Daryl Ayo, and I'm just like, this dude needs to just go away completely.
He needs help. He needs professional help. He's like super ultra violent, right? Every time he's just threatening to hurt people, to punch people, he's like, "Oh, I see somebody in a MAGA hat, I'm going to punch him." And it's like, no, you're not. You're just a fucking nerd.
He's the Tariq Nasheed of comic books.
Wasn't he in on that group chat where they were talking about fucking going to the comic book convention, beating the shit out of Diversity in Comics?
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you
wasn't he in on that?
Like a bunch of others. Actually, I believe half of that list are specifically people that work for Marvel. In fact, I think it's the
like
ones that got hired on.
Like Mags,
they're Marvel people.
DiVaggio or something like that.
They're all part of some weird group called the Mount Rainier Destruction Crew or something like that, right? They're like a little gang, a little clique, and they're weird.
That's a mouthful of bullshit right there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all communists too, which is always like a common thing among these people. They're always communists. Whenever they talk about, oh, we need feminism in video games, we need feminism here, feminism there, they're always calling for unionization of an industry or more Marxist principles. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, when I think a few years ago when people were talking about cultural Marxism, Alexander Mackis was talking about cultural Marxism. People like, oh, you just believe in conspiracy theories. And I look at it and I'm like, no, this is actually cultural Marxism. It's just as Jordan Peterson says, postmodernism is just Marxism given a fresh new coat of paint, but it's the same goddamn thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
These people want feminism and feminism. I swear to God, it's just it's so fucking ridiculous.
When you talk to these people, and you tend to think like, well, what areas of society do you think needs feminism? And they often will say everything needs feminism. Because everything is sexist and everything is it's all bad. Everything is designed to be bad, and all that. And patriarchy and all that.
Whatever that is. Yeah.
Whatever that is.
It's funny too because every time somebody talks about the ridiculousness of feminism, I sometimes revert back to Onision's argument to Blair White. Congratulations, you don't wear a burqa in America because of feminism. I'm like, that had nothing to fucking do with feminism.
Yeah, it's because we're not an Islamic state.
It was religious freedom that allowed you to not have to cover your fucking head. Like, jackass, do you not understand? It does not correlate at all.
Yeah. Feminism had nothing to do with the downfall of Puritanism. I think most liberal or classical liberal or libertarian Americans were like, no, we're not going to have this. We're not going to force you to become a Christian. Right, and so that applies to any other religion. I'm not going to force you to become Jewish. Not that Jewish people try to force their religion on anybody, but that's an example, right? And certainly not going to force anyone to become a Muslim.
Gotta be careful not to shit talk the Jews in today's society, Ian. You're going to be all right next thing you know.
They're more shit talked about than anybody else on the left, right? I mean, I'm not saying the Jews on the left. I'm saying that the left likes to shit talk the Jews. If you notice that. They actually do.
Which seems weird to me. You get the left shit talking the Jews. You get the right shit talking the Jews. I'm not sure. I don't understand
BDS now, right? BDS, it's a boycott.
Are you saying the Jews are bringing people together? Is that what?
Exactly.
They're bringing the extremists together. Like regular Jews are like, well, what? I just run a business. What are you talking about? And these nut jobs, they're like, oh, we got to boycott, divest, and sanction every company that supports Israel. And you think about it, and it's like, oh, this is actually anti-Semitism. That's all it is,
Yeah,
it's nuts. They're communists. I mean, the Marxists were historically anti-Semites. So there were Jewish Marxists, but they were wiped out, literally wiped out, killed, or sent to the Gulag by Stalin. He wasn't a fan of them.
Well, yeah, I can see how that would be.
Yeah, Stalin sent a lot of people to the grave. As a matter of fact, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now people are celebrating him. They put him in their profiles. They have a hammer and sickle logos in their avatars, or they'll be carrying flags. Whenever there's like a conservative speaker on campus, let's just say it's a Kirkman, right? Charlie Kirkman, or Charlie Kirk, yeah, or Charles Murray, or Milo Yiannopoulos, or C.H. Summers, or even like former Muslim speakers. They'll go on a campus, they'll try to speak, like Jordan Peterson, and people opposing them are going to be carrying these hammer and sickle flags, these red hammer and sickle flags, and you look at it, you tend to laugh, right? You think it's funny, but would anybody be laughing if those flags had swastikas on them? And I mean, I look at history and I see, communism killed way more people, and not just in one country, but worldwide. South America was embroiled in countless conflicts because of communist uprisings. Asia, Europe, it's insane that people still try to cling to this utopian idea that we can just, kill one person at a time and it'll bring us, one death closer to communism. It's insane.
just the amount of people that were killed by Mao and Stalin. I mean, just those two alone.
Yet, comrade, there is no proof that was real communism. I'm just saying.
That's their argument. Yeah, they'll say, those countries weren't really communist because communism was never established. You have to have worldwide communism. It's just a moving of the goalposts. You could, if you want to be like absolutely technical, you can say, well, their attempts to create communism killed millions of people. There is no difference because under communism, let's just say they managed to make a worldwide system of communism, people would still be killed. If you were an inventor, they would take your stuff away from you. If you tried to fight, they'd kill you. If you had ideas that, of democracy, they'd kill you. Like it happens in North Korea.
You do not understand the ways. I'm just saying.
Are you saying he does not know the way?
He does not know the way. Ian does not know the way. We spit on the queen. We spit on the false queen.
I don't think those knuckles, Ugandan knuckles, I don't think they are communist because they have a queen, so they have an oligarchy or feudal state.
Yeah,
very good point. It's probably just a figurehead, though.
There is no queen every 5 minutes.
I think the Ugandan knuckles will probably be in the gas chamber if it was back then.
Yeah,
of course, they'd probably be put in there for other reasons, just shut the fuck up.
All they need is an enemy with a weapon more powerful than spit, and I think they're going down.
Yeah.
Spit on you, my brothers.
We've kind of devolved from the point of we were trying to figure out the origin of the
origin of a beef.
Yeah, we need more drama at this point.
Yeah, you guys are being
tell
too
us when you hate
amicable. We
each
got
other.
2 hours to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're agreeing too much on these things. We all agree that Ugandan knuckles must be burnt.
But yeah, that was the origin, and then so he was anti-Gamergate for a while, I guess until 2015 or something.
Yeah, 2015.
And summer of 2015, and then he kind of evolved or stepped away from social justice. And I wrote an article about it, and I said, there were a lot of people that said, "Oh, this guy's a fucking creep," or "Don't trust him," and this or that. And I said, "No, give it a chance." And even if you don't trust him, it's still good. Anytime anybody, high profile or notable advocate of social justice, kind of steps back. So, but I didn't really talk. I didn't talk to him or anything. I think I might have sent a couple, semi-positive tweets toward him, but we never, talked otherwise. But I just kind of
engagement.
Yeah, there wasn't any real engagement. But I wasn't, I stopped trashing him or anything. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh well, it's all good. And then later on, we had some other stuff. He went to Heat Street, and I kind of got into a beef with just pretty much everybody that worked at Heat Street. So yeah, I guess that's a short little synopsis there of.
That about sums it up. Yeah. I do notice something is that the SJWs who hate my guts, they like linking to your original article about me.
Yeah,
as if that's proof or something. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, and I'll say I don't know, it's the post is still pretty high in your search results actually. I know it used to be. Yeah, it's still up there. It's not as high as it used to be, but it's still up there. And it is funny how SJWs will link to my hit pieces on certain people that they don't like, and you're linking to the Ralph retort, and I'm literally talk so much shit about SJWs, but when it's something they like to distribute, they'll definitely link. So
but that's the point. You see, SJWs love using your words against you and others like you. And they will consistently hammer down some bullshit ass out of context fucking words that, might have been said 3-4 years ago by this person or that person. It doesn't fucking matter. But
in my case, it was like fucking 18 years ago.
Yeah. So I'll also mention that the whole article. Now it's not all complete. Some of it's legitimate points or whatever, the Reddit stuff and all that. That's legitimate.
Yeah, that's absolutely legitimate.
Yeah, that's legitimate. But then
his dick is.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then the Hitler stuff. I mean that was some stuff he said when he was a teenager or something in some IRC.
Fucking 17.
Yeah, so I can't really hold that against somebody. But if I'm writing an article and my intention is to kind of troll them. And they said this stuff about Hitler. Of course, I'm going to throw it in. But we've all said, I mean, not necessarily that exact thing, but we've all said stuff that, looking back, I don't really agree with that. So, yeah, that's not the Hitler stuff. That's just pure trolling right there. Like, there's nothing of value to that. So I will admit to that. Now, the whole article itself, some of that stuff's fair. Now, he's addressed all of it too, though, the Reddit stuff and all that. But yeah.
Does the article talk about the second coming of Hitler through Trump?
No, this is before Trump ever. This article was written in like September, October 2014. Yeah. So, and it was nothing behind it really, other than to just go after an anti-Gamergate dude. I mean, that was the whole point. It's not like I said, oh, I really hate this guy. And I mean, he was saying some pretty provocative stuff at the time. I mean, I think some of his quotes are in there too. Like him on Twitter when he was SJW, he was saying some really, really provocative stuff. And so in my mind, it's, oh, well, this guy's out here taking shots. He's shitting on gamers and he's talking shit about Gamergate. Well, he just made himself a viable target. Like, he's in the arena already. He's throwing bombs himself. So of course, I'll write whatever I want. Yeah, exactly. So that's how it was in my mind.
So what I'm hearing right now is Ian Miles Cheong is a little bitch and you want to beat up his mother. Those are the words I'm hearing come out of your mouth.
I heard it too.
That's the impression I have.
Yeah, that may be. I don't know. But I'm just saying there was no like personal about Mouse other than the last article that he wrote. I did get a little pissed off about that because before I was going to go to jail, I already knew I was going to jail last summer. Like I had already pled out and everything. And then basically I had a little problem with my pretrial condition and fucked that up. And so they issued a bench warrant. So basically I had to go to jail sooner than I would have. And they didn't tell me about it, though. That's the fucked up part. So I didn't know. Somebody messaged me on Twitter and they said, "Hey, Ralph, did you know they have a warrant out for your arrest?" And I said, "No, I mean, I'm just sitting in my house. I'm not on the run or anything." They said, "Yeah, it says you're a fugitive from the law here on this thing." And so I went in, looked at it. Of course, somebody passed along to Ian. Well, he writes it up for Heat Streak. Now, it does say fugitive, but I was in no way a fugitive. I was in contact with my pretrial officer. They knew where I was at and everything, so it wasn't, I mean, I was in contact after. Actually, she told me to come up there because I had this device that I had to breathe in 5 times a day, and it was a breathalyzer. And she said, "Hey, come up here. It's time to recalibrate your device. You've been on pretrial so long that we need to recalibrate it." And I said, "Okay, sure, I'll be up there. But did you hear anything about this, supposed capias?" And She said, "No, I haven't heard anything, but I'll check into it." And then the next email she sent me, she goes, "Yeah, there is a capias out for you. You should turn yourself in either down in Richmond or drive up here to Loudon." And I said, "Okay, well, it's nice that you tell me." And I didn't say this, but this is what I was thinking. I was like, "Yeah, well, it's good. I had to learn from Twitter that there's a fucking warrant out for my arrest." So I did drive up to Loudon and turn myself in, by the way, because the Richmond City Jail here is I've never been. But I've heard that it's not really the place that you want to be as far as jails go. You don't ever want to be in jail.
Yeah.
No, I'm surprised they didn't actually have a press conference and announce it like the Ralph retort is a fugitive on the.
Well, I don't. Yeah. I don't really think I quite reached those standards, but they did write it up in the Washington Post, which which kind of got me, and. I told some people that while I was in jail, and I think some of them thought I was bullshitting, but no, they actually did write it up. So, yeah, I don't know.
So after the 10-hour police chase, after you get tased, probably shit yourself, and you get booked, what happens then?
You mean when I get to jail or?
Yeah. After first day in jail.
We're trying to make you.
Okay, so
we're trying to make you look like a badass. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so when I went to jail, I just walked in and said, "Hey, I'm turning myself in." And actually, it was surprisingly they made it a little bit difficult. They're like, "Oh, why are you here?" And this. And I'm like, "Look, dude, there's a fucking warrant out. Just take me to." I mean, I didn't say in quite those words, but that was. That was my message. I try to be very respectful to the guards and most of the time, And by the way, the guards they're pretty cool. I never had too many problems with them.
No weird impromptu strip searches.
No, but you want to know something though? I'll tell you this. When I was in jail, the first time before I got bail, I actually did get strip searched at the fucking jail, and it was because Brianna Wu called. It was either the prosecutor or somebody at the jail, and or she definitely called the prosecutor. But I don't know what got me strip searched. Was it the prosecutor calling in or somebody at the jail? Because I had my wife send out a tweet because I heard that Brianna Wu had written an article about it, and so I sent out a tweet. Something really, smart ass, of course.
Yeah.
And so Brianna Wu called him and tried to say I had a telephone inside the jail and was sending out tweets. So they actually did come and get me and collect me and strip search me. And I'm a little bit like, what the fuck's going on? I'm anxious. Like, why are they doing this? What happened? And so they came back and after they strip searched me, I said, hey, could you just why did you guys do that? And he said, hey, look, I can't tell you. It's above my pay grade. They just told me to do it. And so we did it, which is, strip search is an interesting procedure. Spread your ass cheeks and cough and all that good shit. Yeah, that actually happened.
Man.
That actually happened.
Man.
No, but look,
man.
Well, I mean, they didn't, violate me or anything. They just kind of look, they don't stick their fingers up there or anything. But yeah. So later on, I talked to my lawyer, and he said, "Yeah, I talked to it wasn't the DA, the assistant DA was the one handling my case." And he said, "Yeah, I talked to the DA, and he said this crazy person named Brianna Wu called up there and told him to give you the max." And I said, "Wait, are you serious?" He said, "Yeah."
What the fuck?
The guy doesn't know who this person is, but said that she was unhinged and kept calling for you to get the max. And I was like, whatever. He said it doesn't have any effect on your case. The guys, they weren't really trying to cut any deals anyway because they don't cut deals in Loudoun County very often. That's kind of their MO. But yeah, Brianna Wu actually called up there and tried to get me more jail time,
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
she's fucked up, man. It's like she wrote an article basically calling you a terrorist, and she continues to do it, right? Like if you go to her Twitter account, she's every other day she's tweeting about Gamergate terrorists, and she cites the article that she wrote about you, right? Or other articles.
Well, in that article, if you read it, which I did read it because I wanted some laughs when I got out, and I mean the first time before I went back in, and Wu calls for me to get the max in that article. Said, "Oh, look at all this stuff he wrote as part of Gamergate, and he's basically pretty much calling me a terrorist and saying he deserves the full max 5 years on some dumb, drunk on the couch shit. Didn't even hit the police. Basically, somebody told me on Twitter, so you're saying you got 8 months for almost hitting the police?" And I said, "Yeah, that's pretty much what." I mean, it's serious. It's not nothing, but
it's still serious, but it's not like you actually assaulted." Police officer. It's more like attempted assault or something.
Yeah, well, see, the way assault works is you don't even have to hit somebody.
Right, you can just be like, "Oh,"
yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what it was. And so I don't know. A lot of European people messaged me and tweeted at me and said, "What, are you serious? You did 8 months for that? Like, how is that even possible over here? You wouldn't even go to jail." And I was like, we're not over there. This is the good old US of A. So they lock motherfuckers up.
Yeah, here in Canada, at least in Ontario, you'd spend a night in the drunk tank.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe you have to do some weekend time or something. Come here. Something like that. Right. But well, that's not how they do it here in Virginia. So,
and Brianna wanted you to get 5 years for that.
5 years, yes, for
5 fucking years. Jesus Christ.
And used as the justification the stuff I had written and done with Gamergate. And apparently, I think Wu might have also brought up me showing up to the RavenCon event and getting thrown out, which I didn't do anything but just sat there and tweeted about his or her, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
And she called it harassment. Yeah, she called it harassment.
Yeah, she said me just showing up was harassing. Harassing Wu. Which I don't really understand.
I got something that might make you feel better. I don't know if you've seen it if you were in jail at the time, but I have here in the side chat Brianna Wu's campaign video, her legit campaign video. If you haven't seen it,
she's
make you feel a whole lot better.
She's got 2.
I saw one of them before I left.
Yeah, one was where she used a lot of stock footage where she's like riding a bike, but that's actually not her. That's somebody else. She took it off Vimeo.
Yeah, I think I wrote that part up. Oh, look, I'm looking at this.
Yeah. And
Kiwi
then-
Farms really hates Woo, by the way. Somebody from Kiwi Farms sent me something about Woo basically faked having some kind of degree from Ole Miss and lied about it.
Yep, she never graduated. She actually flunked out. Yeah.
And they
She's
sent
there
me
for many years.
Yeah, they pretty much sent me all the evidence and everything and just said, "Here, Ralph, have at it." And I said, "Oh, yeah, good, I will." And so I wrote that up and got some pretty good traffic off of it. But yeah, lied about that. Woo's lies go so deep and so long. I literally cannot remember all the crazy shit that I've chronicled that Woo has said or done. Talked about sarin gas at PAX East. I think it was PAX East.
Yeah,
I was worried about a sarin gas attack, which is just insane. Just I don't know.
Did you miss all the moon rock stuff? Like I think you were in jail when she was going on.
No. I was still out.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, that was part of my travels too. I did see that before I left. So
Elon Musk must be stopped because he might build a base to drop moon rocks on Earth.
Woo's gonna get absolutely destroyed. By the way, Stephen Lynch is not some joke politician that.
No, he's a real serious
dude's
politician.
entrenched, and he's gonna kick that ass when the primary runs. So
and then she's gonna cry
can I ask you a
transphobia
question?
or something.
Oh yeah, you already know that. But I'm eager to see the beatdown nonetheless.
Me too.
No, what are you trying to say, Rob?
We got some people in the chat. I'm Robert, by the way. How you doing, Ethan? Good to meet you.
Oh, doing good, man. Nice to meet you.
I know I missed just a couple minutes at the beginning, but we got some people in the chat asking why you went to jail in the first place.
So I went to, yeah, sure. I went up to what ended up being, I didn't even know. I just knew it was Northern Virginia. It was like Reston area, Sterling area. And I think it's Fairfax and Loudoun. So it's kind of in between counties there, but it ended up being Loudoun. And I was going up there to meet this guy, Feminist Flow or Feminist Period. You might have seen him on YouTube. I don't think he does videos anymore, but he'd written for my site and been on some of my streams. And he said, "Hey man, I'm in town, doing his job. He said, why don't you come up here? I'm only a couple hours away. Come up here. We'll have some drinks and kick it." And I said, "All right, sure." And at the time I hadn't really been, I'd kind of just been working on my site a lot and hadn't really had a night out in a while. So I said, "Okay, sure. I'll come up there." Went up there and got really, really drunk. Got into a dispute with him, which I won't go into. I mean, we didn't fight or anything, but it was, it was almost fought. And so then I just got into my head, I'm just gonna leave. Which I was really, really drunk at this time, so I shouldn't have even been considering leaving anywhere, unless it would be to go rent my own fucking hotel room. He had a hotel room here at the hotel. Unless we could go check in and rent my own room and lay down and go to sleep. But instead, I went downstairs and sat on the couch, and I tried to call my wife. Now, my wife lives in London because that's where she was from when I met her, and she's still going to school over there and finishing up her degree and stuff. So I tried to call her, and it was like 4:30, 5:30 a.m., and so it was around 9 or 10 there. She didn't answer, so and the only reason I know that I tried to call her is because she told me the next day, and she was kind of sad because she's like, "I could have stopped you or helped you out," which probably not. That's just her,
So it's a DUI, basically.
No.
Okay.
No,
no,
if only it was that simple. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, so then I just ended up like passing out on the hotel couch, and apparently after, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour, the manager there called the police. And so the police came to wake me up. And I don't remember any of this. I was that drunk. And so the police woke me up, which I don't remember either. But I saw the video later on. My lawyer saw it. And so the police woke me up, and I kind of like, at first I didn't want to wake up, but they kept persisting because they were there to fucking wake me up. And I talked to the cop later at the jail, and he said, "Really, I was just trying to get you to go back upstairs, but you weren't having it." And so he finally says, "Well, you're under arrest. You're gonna have to go to jail," which is just a public drunk at that point. No big deal. You just bond out the next day. But I don't know what I had going through my mind. Either I thought I was being attacked, or I just was frustrated or what. I don't really know because I was that far out of it. I can't tell you what I was thinking. And so I kind of like flailed around a little bit. I wouldn't even call it a punch, but I'm just like lunging and didn't hurt him or anything. But that right there is assault on police. And so that's a felony in the state of Virginia, punishable by up to 5 years in a state correctional or local correctional facility. And the fucked up part about it is it's a 6-month minimum. So
and you got convicted? You're a felon now because of that?
Yeah, I am. So,
can't vote? Can't for the rest of your life?
Now they are doing things where they restore voting rights here in Virginia, but after you free and clear and served your probation and everything. But yeah, so that's how I got a felony. Oh, wait. Okay. There was one more thing. So I was they were taking me out and they put me on the hood of the car, and I was handcuffed. And so they said that I was kicking backwards in the direction of one of the officers. Didn't hit him, but they gave me another assault on police for that. So I had two counts of assault, and the second one was no physical contact at all. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I have no felonies on my record, no violent crimes. I did have, a couple drug possessions or whatever, and drunk crimes when I was younger, 6 years in between getting arrested. So I'm thinking, no big deal. We'll get this dropped down to misdemeanor assault somehow. And that's what my lawyer thought too, but they weren't having it. And the only deal they would offer was we'll drop everything. They also hit me with some obstruction of justice bullshit. And so they said, we'll drop everything except the one count. And if you don't like that deal, you can just go to trial on it, which, I'll be facing a lot more time and, most likely would lose too. So
Brianna Wu's dream would come true.
Yeah, exactly. So you either take the 6 months, it ended up being 8. I couldn't predict. They also wouldn't give me a deal.
Who the fuck's got dogs in the back?
God, did someone chuck a cat in the fucking dog?
Jesus Christ, Christ. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave the felons in charge.
Yeah, yes. But they wouldn't give me a deal on Tom either. So they said, that's just left up to the judge. So the judge ended up giving me 8 months, and
Oof. Yeah,
did my time, and I'm back out here talking to you guys.
Do you think any of that was influenced by people like Brianna writing up shit about you?
No, it wasn't at all. The assault on police charge is very common in Loudoun County. There was at least 20 people.
Everyone takes a swing at the cops.
No, but I mean, you don't actually have to take a swing at them to get that charge. Is what I'm saying. Like there was a guy in there, who just got like loud and in their face, and he got charged with assault on police. They hit him with another assault. Yeah, well they do, and they want to keep that jail full, and they know that that's mandatory or minimum, mandatory minimum of 6 months, and it's a good way to keep their fucking jail full. So that's how they do it. He caught another one for, they said he slung his pants at him through the slot, and they gave him another assault charge for that. One guy got it for jerking his hand away while they tried to arrest him. And really, it's just resisting arrest. So they don't even charge resisting arrest there. They just give everybody assault on police. And so it's very common. No, Wu shit had absolutely nothing to do with anything. So I was going to keep that no matter what. It wouldn't have mattered.
It's so fucked up that she called.
That's fucked up. And I didn't even, believe it until my lawyer told me that Wu actually did call and try to influence.
Jesus.
And I just cracked up because of what he told me about the prosecutor. He's just like, the prosecutor has no fucking idea who this even is. Kind of fucking weird. He even said that, like, that's a little weird. This fucking person, some Boston game developer, is calling me and trying to talk about this case, and I'm fucking. They're not gonna bring that up.
Even develop games.
Yeah. Well, they're not gonna say, "Oh, look at all this shit you wrote on the internet. We're gonna give you extra time." That's just not how the court system works in the first place.
That'd be against your First Amendment rights.
Yeah, it's against the law. That's not how it works. Now, if they can look and see your past, criminal history or drug history and stuff like that, but they can't say, "Oh, he wrote all these mean articles online. Let's lock him up for the full 5 years max." That's just not how.
That's like the previous season of Homeland, where the black kid He's like a Muslim. He's writing all these fucking diatribes about Islam on the internet. Gets arrested for a crime he does not commit. That would never happen.
Dogs.
Yeah. No, yeah, that would never happen. That's insane.
Yeah,
that might happen in Brianna Wu's world, you know.
I'm not sure if Wu is actually that fucking stupid to think that could happen.
I
or
It is.
I think she is. Yeah,
I wouldn't put any amount of
Yeah.
stupidity
she's
past
an
her.
extremely stupid person. Like
She's an ideologue, and an ideologue
Yeah.
that which is like double stupid.
She's like, oh my, and she's multiplying. You know, like people like her on fucking Twitter, they realize being fucking stupid like that, making all these woke nuclear takes is going to get them a lot of attention, and they do it every fucking day. And like just an hour ago, I screen capped somebody named Transcribe. It was like a transgender social justice advocate / journalist in quotes, tweeting about how the Winter Olympics is a racist because it's all about white people. And this person has made $25,000 on her fucking GoFundMe because of the attention that she or he gets. It's insane.
That the Olympics are racist because it's all whites. How did he reach that logic?
Did you see
the-
the Korean Olympics? Just white head
the-
to toe.
The logic is that he said he learned this in college, right? So the logic is that there's not a lot of black athletes in the Winter Olympics because, you know, I mean, there's no fucking snow in Africa. Why would there be African athletes, right? And so therefore, you know, it's a white sport. Yeah, Cool Runnings. Yeah.
Feel the
And so
rhythm.
because it's
Feel the rhythm.
mostly white people, he or she claims, that's why it's racist. And then he went into some bullshit diatribe about how, you know, colleges, you know, their athletics programs are mostly funded by football and basketball, which is largely black players, right? And so therefore, all that money, you know, that they get goes into funding all the other departments, you know, like, you know, gymnastics and all that stuff. And that's mostly white people. So, you know, therefore it's racist. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, when's the last time you saw, you know, like a team full of white people in the NFL? Like, I can't think of a single one. Like, the Patriots probably has like the most white players in it.
Wu's still doing fucked up shit too. I don't know if you saw that she got the Atari Nolan Bush.
Oh yeah, Nolan Bushnell. Yeah, I wrote about it. Yeah,
got the GDC to not give him their whatever award, ambassador award, whatever the fuck they call it. Basically, lifetime achievement
Pioneer
award. Yeah, Pioneer. Yeah, that's right, Pioneer Award. Yes.
Yeah,
You know,
even though this
me
is
and
like the father of video games, so father of video games, and she makes up some lie about how he used to sexually harass women, all because she read some fucking book written like fucking 2011, which had a quote from some guy who fucking hated his guts. Right, that dude claimed that he wore a T-shirt saying "I like to fuck." That shirt doesn't fucking exist. First of all, right? And now all these women who actually worked with him are defending him. They're like, this never happened. You know, this so-called sexual harassment. I mean, none of you ever spoke to any of us, and you're making all these weird assumptions about us, about what we experienced. I mean, it was a party atmosphere. There were hippies in the 70s, right? And none of this went down. Like, there was no harassment at all. Like, he's a gentleman. Right? He's one of the nicest guys in the game industry. And, you know, this is what you put him through. Him and his family are now being, you know, slandered, basically, as you know, like a pack of sexual harassers. It's fucking sickening, man. And all these fucking, you know, like, Wu, she's not the only one. You know, there's Jennifer Sherrill. There's Elizabeth Sampat, or whatever her name is. And they're all, like, you know, making up these accusations about him. And none of them were even like alive back when he was, you know, building Atari. It's insane.
Yeah, no one is off limits according to some of these people. I mean, just look at one of who was it, Barron Trump? They're saying he was like a little shit. Like, that's a kid,
A little psychopath. Yeah, a little psychopath who's going to grow up, become a murderer. Yeah, a murderer / rapist. What the fuck, man? And meanwhile, they're perfectly happy to ignore, you know, like Logan Paul, who is, you know, fucking weird as hell, right? Or Onision, fucking weird as hell.
1 second, we got 2 questions in the chat. Well, half a question and a question. Hypnagogic Monk says, "Ask him, bitch." I'm not sure what you mean. I missed the chat up until now. And Totally Not Mitzi says, "Is the blind guy North Korean?" Hey, Kim, are you North Korean? I have to assume that's aimed at you, Ian.
No, he's a Mongoloid.
Yeah. No, I'm Chinese.
Wait a second. Ian is
And,
Asian?
Monk's question was, He says, "I'm guessing Ralph is a Southerner." What are his thoughts on that?
Yeah,
flag?
that's a pretty good guess. I wonder what was the giveaway on that, but yeah, I am definitely.
It's your big blue eyes there, buddy.
Yeah, I know it's really hard to spot, but yeah, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and I grew up in a little town right next to it, across the bridge, across the Mississippi River, called West Memphis. A very original name there, but yeah, that's
Can
where
you
I'm
be
from.
any more country?
Yeah, well, you can be, but it's hard. So yeah, I'm way up there. The accent, I don't even try because I cannot hide it. So hide it.
What's the point of hiding it? It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, well,
I like the drawl. Yeah.
the southern drawl, yeah, Delta twang there. Can't get away from it. So yeah, I love my hometown and my region though. So hopefully I get to go back there. I'll have to get it clear with my probation officer before I take a trip back to Memphis. But yeah, that's Memphis, man. Great place. Beale Street, just so much cool. The World Barbecue Championships every year.
Ooh,
Best
that's gotta be
barbecue in the
Yeah.
world.
World Barbecue Championships? Come
Yeah.
on,
That
dude.
sounds badass. That sounds fucking badass.
That's
Barbecue.
not
Wait,
the world, because
Oh, yeah.
otherwise cannibalism would be a part of that.
I bet the
Yeah.
winners from Kansas every fucking year, though. What's up now?
well, yeah, there is some disagreements about where the best barbecue is. So Carolina, where I also lived for like 8 years, South Carolina, North Carolina region, they like theirs. Kansas City, and then there's Texas, and there's a lot of disagreement. But you know, I'm a Memphian, so I think you know where I think the best Q is. So.
West Virginia, got it.
And Ian, yeah, you were going to tell them your ethnicity.
Chinese.
Chinese. That's what I thought. All right.
But you know, here's the
supposed to
thing.
let them
Frank
think.
Nasheed would call me an honorary white supremacist, right? Or honorary white man. If you listen to his talk with Jarrett Taylor, Asians are honorary whites now, and all our economies are run by white people.
But especially you, Ian. You're white, or you're Asian,
No,
and
if-
you don't hate whites.
If
So
Ian
you-
was white,
you
his
must
dick
be a
would be
white
bigger.
man.
No.
That's
I'm like
true.
I'm like technically actually half white, right? So HAPA, right? So that's even more, more credibility to what Tariq Nasheed is saying.
Now, Ian,
He's
are
a
you
white
sure?
shark.
How
one
much
second.
shark
One
are you
second.
got there?
Oh, 1 second. We got Memory Holiday in the chat, and then we got somebody called Jeremy Carroll.
Oh,
And
God, I
he
love
says,
men's.
Memory, you and your husband are fucking trash. I hope you lose your goddamn kids. Poor.
Wow.
Don't
What
go
the
after
Jesus,
the
fuck?
kids.
Dude, Mems didn't do
You're a
shit.
piece of
Mems has
shit.
always
Mems
been
did not
awesome.
do anything.
I will
Don't-
say-
Mems has always been awesome.
like that,
And
Shango.
you know what? I still don't have a problem with Jeff either.
Wow.
Yeah, me neither.
I've talked to Jeff.
Actually, I'll say this.
I
fuck
talked to
Jeff
him,
Holiday.
too.
Yeah, I don't like Jeff Holiday. I'll
Oh,
just
you don't
be
like
honest.
Jeff?
I
Oh.
don't like Jeff Holiday. No.
I still
He
like
probably
Jeff.
doesn't like you either.
Yeah, I guarantee you he doesn't. But yeah, I don't think his wife likes me either. Now, I think I might have called her a whore or something on Twitter. We got into it.
Yeah.
Before I went in. Before I went
You got a lot
inside.
of beefs going on. You got a lot of beefs going on. My
Yeah,
beef
I
is
got a lot of beefs, and sometimes I don't even remember. And that's the funny thing.
Then you know what he thinks.
Actually,
You know what he
but no,
thinks.
some people are
Ethan's like,
mad at
so
me
many
for it.
people hate me. I can't keep it straight.
I'm serious. Because
Ethan, we've had you on tonight. You're mending bridges with fucking Ian Miles Cheong, that motherfucking SJW from back at Gamergate. Let's have you on again, and you can fix things with Jeff Holiday.
Oh God, I don't. Yeah, I don't know about that. But
You better
I
come
mean, hey,
drunk.
I will definitely come on. He came. You know what's the funny thing is, he came on to my channel and thought he owned me or whatever. I didn't really think so, but of course he brought all his little fans in and they were bombing the chat and stuff, which is fair. I don't give a fuck. But on that stream, he was like sucking Mr. Medicare's dick, and he's just, I love Jim, and I can't. He just dropped his new video, and I gotta leave, and I gotta go watch it. So I come out of jail, and Jim is fucking shit all over him, destroyed. I mean, well, not destroyed him, but just absolutely fucked him up, fucked up Kraut and T, his whole little clique where they were doxing people. It's just great. It just never. Oh man, it never fucking ends. Where you see these people online and I'm anti-doxing, and oh God, how could you do that? And you're such a horrible person. And then behind the scenes, they're fucking digging up every single piece of dirt they can find, doing all kinds of shady shit, making up fake bitches that supposedly backpacked through the UK. Just ridiculous fucking shit.
Hey, look,
Who are you talking about? Is this David Sherritt? Is that who you're talking
No,
about?
no, I'm talking about the Jeff Holiday thing where they created.
Yeah. I'm not trying to white knight Jeff here, but it seems to me like Jeff is the kind of guy that would not actually actively be participating in a. I think this shit all got fucking blown out.
I listened to all the logs and stuff. Jeff wasn't actually actively involved, right? There were a lot of people in those fucking channels. I know a bunch of them. Some of them are my friends. And they weren't active, right? They just got invited. They sat in there. They had no idea what was going on. They weren't paying attention. It was supposed to be, where you do research against the, the alt-right debaters on YouTube, right? To find arguments against them. Unfortunately, fucking Kraut and T decided to make it like a fucking doxing server.
No, but Jeff was.
It's a data dump, Ian.
I'll just say I've seen like some of the logs. I haven't obviously had time to look through it, and I wasn't here. I was thinking about what was going to be for on the fucking dinner tray that night. But I know that I've seen screens where he was talking in the chat. It wasn't like he was a completely passive person.
Right? Yeah, no. Like there's an audio log of him speaking. Yeah. But
yeah.
I don't. Yeah. The doxing stuff was definitely Kraut and T's Zephyranion. He's got an emotional connection to his girlfriend. Right? It's fucking weird as hell. Cut. And
we definitely remember that.
Here's
Mr.
Lord
knows we do.
Mr. Mouse said Jeff knew it was happening and lied about knowing. He lied and admitted to lying. Yeah. See, now there's
he made a mistake.
Lie, but you know what? Lying doesn't make you a fucking bad person, dude.
No, here's somebody saying. Now, see, I can't speak, because I don't have, the full amount of research that some other people, but here's a person saying there's audio of Jeff and Kraut. I don't really know.
Yeah, there is audio, but it wasn't about doxing. It was like
just speaking with Kraut doesn't make you a bad guy.
No, it doesn't. It just means you have you made a mistake in making Kraut your friend.
You made a poor choice in friends.
I don't know.
I'll Kraut is definitely people's poor choice.
It seems I don't know. I just don't. I don't like Jeff Holiday, and I don't really believe his shit. So that's just me personally. I think some of the chat agrees with me.
I don't think he's a fucking crazy doxer that everybody's claiming he is. That's all I'm saying.
Memory has a good point, though. Memory has a good point. This is a 2-month-old topic. I want to go back to hearing why Ian thinks Ethan's sister's such a slut.
Did you say? Wait, hold on. I don't mind changing the topic, but you talk about it's a 2-month-old topic. Well, this is a 4-year-old topic, like almost. So I don't know.
That is a good point.
That's a good point.
What's funny about the
what was the
2-month-old
question?
topic is
What did you want to know about
recently?
So
what did you want to know? What was the question about?
I'm just wondering why you think Ethan's sister's a slut and why you want to run her down with the truck.
What the fuck?
I just want
I didn't even know you had a sister.
I don't
even know you had a
that's,
sister.
that's the funny part, but
Yeah.
no sisters.
Yeah.
I would make a
Your
joke
brother?
about. I would make a joke about incest. I guess that even mentioning it is making a joke about it, but yeah, I do have a brother actually. He lives in South Carolina, and my brother has cerebral palsy, so he lives in a assisted living facility, and so we go and see him sometimes, and it's kind of hard to get.
And Ian decided to both misgender him and call him a slut.
Yeah,
disgusting.
How dare you attack the disabled? This just, oh my god.
Ethan, do you ever fuck with your brother?
No, what do you like?
Okay, so I'm not sure how he's disabled, but do you ever just like fuck with him? Like, say he can't really stand up straight, you put shit on the top of the fridge for him.
Like troll him? You mean troll him because of his disability, or like just fuck with him?
Yeah, by fuck with him, he means like fuck around with him, not fuck him.
Oh, you mean just like play around with him or something? Yeah, but no.
Yeah, no, Ian's trying to fuck your brother, but I'm asking you for
What does Ralph think of the Confederate flag? I'm assuming he means the Confederate flag.
Confederate. Confederate. This was the guy who named.
He's got a good old Southern education, Mr.
You're mediocre. Did you know that Mr. Medicare, like the name Mr. Medicare, came from mediocre? It was some guy who didn't know how to spell.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah, it's
I
from
think
a chat log or something. Just somebody's
Right.
typo.
yeah, it was on Tonka's stream, I think, and
Sargon's.
some people. Oh, yeah. And then someone was assuming that. Oh yeah, Sargon stream. Yeah, Sargon was assuming that Medicare meant like merit or something like that. And Jim explained it to Tonka and me, and he's like, on Tonka stream, and he says no, it's actually mediocre.
That's just retarded.
Oh, but as far as the Confederate
Yeah.
flag, obviously I'm, from a place where I grew up seeing a lot of Confederate flags, and it doesn't really bother me. I wasn't a person that would wear around a lot of rebel flags and stuff. I think I might have had a knife one time that had the like a little pocket knife that had the Confederate flag logo. But I'm fine with it. I don't see it as, I mean, you can use it, I guess, if you're, super, you hate black people and you want to talk about slavery and you use the flag as whatever you want to call it, a hate symbol or however you want to put it. That's one thing, but maybe you just, it's part of your Southern heritage, so to speak, or whatever. And you just, like the design and you're from the South and it kind of represents the South to you. I think there's a difference to be made. But if you're hanging in your yard and you like, I want to burn crosses and hang black people and stuff, that would be different. So
there's even black folks who carry the flag.
Yeah.
Right? They'll
Exactly.
Like their ancestors fought the Confederate Army on the side of the Confederates. It's really interesting, and a lot of that gets ignored in modern history. We just try to pretend that never happened. I mean, there was this one guy. He's a cab driver or maybe an Uber driver. He was in Texas, right, when they had a flood, at Houston, and he's from the South. So he rescued a bird. I think it was like a falcon or like a bald eagle or something. He rescued him. And he was treating it really kindly and stuff, and people noticed in his live streams that he had a Confederate flag on the wall, and they tried to tarnish him for it. But I think fortunately, a lot of the people in Texas they understood what it stood for at least for him, and he defended himself. He's like, okay, this is not me being a racist, it's just Southern pride. There's a big difference, and I think a lot of social justice warriors, they like to pretend that nuance doesn't exist just so they can find another person to demonize. Here's a nice man, rescues a bird, rescues stray animals and stuff, and you're trying to make him into this Nazi. What is wrong with you? Jesus Christ.
I think I remember seeing that video about the bird there. It was a viral video that was going around for quite a while. I think it was during what was that hurricane? The one in Florida, I think.
Yeah.
Or in Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that video. It was quite a heartwarming video. Seeing a scared little bird, and they brought him in there. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about him being like attacked and all that for the flag.
He was, yeah. It was a milkshake duck situation, right? They love their milkshake ducks where a good man does something good and you find out something that's not so good about him and you blow it up and suddenly he's not a hero anymore. He's a villain. I mean, they do it all the time. It's sickening. They like bringing good people down just because they're trash, right? They would never rescue a bird. They would never do anything good in the world. So they want to make everybody else seem just as bad as they are because they're nihilists at the end of the day, right? They hate humanity. They want to destroy humanity. They're fucking Marxists.
One second. We got totally not Mitzi in the chat. My kid's great gramps was a Nazi. He was hot. He wouldn't talk about it. Why am I not surprised your great grandfather was a Nazi and your kid's great grandfather and that you're attracted to him? Well, why does that not shock me?
Thank God
Jesus Christ. I'll be right back. The blind man's in charge.
Thank I took off my glasses.
Yeah, thank God we don't give wrenches to everyone on the stream.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I was kind of looking over at it, and I'm just like, well, Memory Holiday, she can't go anywhere without getting berated with this shit. And then there's, 5, 10 people just.
I mean, wait a minute. She's a big girl. Come on. People berate me with shit all the time. They talk about me going to jail. They talk about this and that fake
Yeah,
shit.
but they
they
talk
made up
about you going to jail. They talk to you specifically going to jail.
They
Not
do
your
it to my
wife.
wife too. How many times have they hit my wife up with shit on Twitter?
Oh.
I mean,
I think it's really shitty when they go after, your friend or your family or something like that, because it's not you, right? If they want to come at you, they should just come at you
to justify what their spouse did or something like that, or
Right.
even if they did anything. But like that, it's some fucking bullshit to throw that on somebody's husband or wife. For
well,
sure.
I'll say, I'll make a little exception in that, if this person is a public personality, if they're out there doing videos, and you feel like they're a part of the issue, I don't think it's off limits to criticize that person or talk shit about that person. Now, if they're not in the arena, we talked about earlier, if you're in the arena, you're in the arena. And if you don't want to be in the arena,
gladiator.
Yeah, if you don't want
Welcome
to
to
be
blood
here,
sports.
don't
Right.
fucking be here. I mean, nobody's making you come on these streams. Nobody's making you put out videos, write articles. I mean,
Mhm.
if you do
but
that,
that's the thing. Though. Say
Yeah, she
everybody
has-
hated
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
If like everybody hated me and it's because I fucked up or something along those lines, whatever the case is. And anytime I came into a stream and they started just berating the fuck out of me, cool, fine, whatever. But if, say, my buddy Zell went onto streams because he's still friends with some of the people that watch people that don't like me, and they start berating the fuck out of him, like, where's your boy? Why isn't he here? Tell him to get online so I can fuck him up. Like, that just gets fucking annoying. It's like, Zell had nothing to do with what the fuck I did.
Well,
Leave him the
he's
fuck
not
alone.
your keeper, right? He's not
Exactly.
your keeper. Yeah.
well, I mean, I understand both sides of it because my wife's caught some shit where my wife's, pretty nice person.
She's British. so
I've worked
she-
with her.
Yeah.
I've worked with her. She's a pretty
Yeah.
nice person. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She's and she catches some shit sometimes, and I don't feel like it's fair. But also, I have to say, well, she's out there, and she's put herself out there, done work, like Ian said, done published online work, and so.
Yep.
I don't feel like it's fair, but also on the other hand, she's out there and, she's not just, a passive observer. So I understand.
Yeah, but that's the other thing about it is because it's memes that's consistently getting this shit. Like, yeah, when Jeff tweets on Twitter and shit like that, he'll get attacked. He'll get retweeted. He'll get fucking shut the fuck up, Jeff, whatever the case is. I see it. It's whatever. Sometimes it's funny. I'm not going to lie. But then, Mems comes onto the chat on the live stream, and suddenly she's getting, attacked and stuff. But why is everyone ignoring other people? People will go out of their way to ignore, Magog. He doesn't give two shits. He got actually hit with the information on that fucking that bullshit server. But nobody gives Magog any shit for literally just letting it go.
Right.
He just let it go. And no one cares.
Yeah, because I mean, in that case, it's like it makes sense. Like, why should he be attacked for something that fucking Kraut did, right? So it's for that same reasoning. It's kind of weird that people are going after Mems because she wasn't even on the server, and
she had nothing to do with it. She didn't even know it.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird that people go after it. I don't think that's fair, right? It's just not fair.
It's just not cool.
Yeah. It's not even about fairness. It's just that's bullshit, right?
I will say this. I will give her credit for even listening to the stream because we said some pretty fucked up things to each other on Twitter, and so yeah, I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit for that, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think we're getting Men's on the stream one of these days, so I'm sure she'll have some things to say.
Prepare for the chat to go crazy. Just saying.
Put
it in slow mode.
We'll see. I don't know, because as far as I'm concerned, with Men's, there's really.
I mean, a lot of people told me she's really nice and she's cool and everything. And
She's
then
nice, yeah.
well, what happened with you and her, Ralph? And I said, well, Jeff Holiday was joking around about me getting raped in jail, and then we got into it, and I think I might have implied that his wife was a whore or something like that. Maybe made a few jokes along those lines, and then she got into it. So that's pretty much how it evolved. So they're like, "Oh, so you called his wife a fucking prostitute on Twitter?" And I was like, "Yeah,
But
yeah, that
Ethan,
happened."
did you, in fact, drop the soap?
Me? No, I didn't.
No.
He wasn't
So
raised.
they
in
just
prison.
took-
Oh, actually,
because
no.
you did
The
it.
whole time I was there, I actually, yeah, this it's pretty. The soap itself is kind of slippery, but there was so it's single cell shower though, so there's no chance of
Oh, that's
getting.
good.
Not only that, the shower is like right in front of the guard's pod. I mean, there's a door on it, but
So you did all the butt fucking. All right, I got it.
So I've just come back, and
The top, motherfucker.
Mems is in the chat saying you called me a whore for 3 to 4 hours straight because Jeff muted you. I know
that's not
she's
why I
talking
did
to
it.
me.
But yeah,
Oh,
I
okay,
did call her a whore quite a few times. That's true. I mean, I haven't been proven wrong about that accusation, so I don't know. But
Shameful.
Oh, don't double down. Don't double down.
yeah.
Don't double down on that.
Well, I kind of look at it as Twitter shit talk, and they were saying a lot of shit about me. So, and I don't know. Maybe I dragged her into it, but I don't know. People say a lot of fucked up shit on Twitter. We were just talking about it earlier on this stream. Me and Ian have said a lot of fucked up things about each other.
Yeah, we have.
I
think
Yeah, go ahead.
one of the big reasons why I went against you was I used to be friends with somebody, and you wrote an article about her, and you got her job wrong. And it actually got her a lot of negative attention from the Gamergate people, because the Gamergate people are reading your article and they assumed that she was, a Blizzard employee who had, basically been an SJW, even though she wasn't. And that actually made her kind of anti-Gamergate for a while. So that was interesting.
Oh yeah,
that was why I went after you.
I know that
Yeah.
person. I can't remember the name, but I know them because they're active on Twitter, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff I've actually forgotten from back in the day. But I know the example that you're talking about, and might have been a misfire there because I did see them later on. They weren't exactly anti-Gamergate, but yeah, it might have been a little misfire.
Yeah, interestingly enough, she was one of the few people actually pulled me out of the anti-Gamergate. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but it did, it basically ratcheted up the heat level, right? Because I mean, it was articles like that one, and then on the anti-Gamergate side, you had people like what's a transgender person like that? She's like Hispanic. She went to like Gama Sutra or something. I can't remember her name.
The
She's like one of the-
Kane Moon or whatever, but I forgot her real name. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. She's like one of the fucking ringleaders. Like she was part of Zoe Quinn's clique together with me, obviously. But she's like, she's like the person.
Catherine Cross.
Catherine Cross. Thank you. Yeah, you remember her. Yeah. She's still at it. She's writing for like Daily Beast or something now, and she's just writing these anti-Gamergate, anti-SJW stuff, calling us alt-right and all that shit. She is one of the most dangerous people, I think, on the internet, at least, in the side of journalism, because, she's able to articulate her arguments in a way that's very persuasive, and she convinces other journalists that what she's saying is true, even though, they're not true, right? And she was, I think, one of the main reasons why Gamergate got so heated and is the way it is because of people like her, and Brianna Wu obviously contributed to a lot of that, because she manufactured her own, harassment. I mean, obviously, like, no one knew who Brianna Wu was. She had like 300 followers when she first showed up, and then all of a sudden she's got a thread on 8chan that she herself obviously posted. And next minute, like a few hours pass and she's on Huffington Post Live. Like, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck?
What am I looking at? What am I looking at?
That would be the chick with the Nazi grandfather that she found attractive.
Okay. Took me by surprise there, but okay.
Why do you do this?
My child's grandfather is a Nazi and he's very attractive.
Was his name Booby by any chance? Doing a little Wolfenstein reference here.
His name is Helmut von Strudel.
Oh man. So yeah. Catherine Cross. I mean, she is the one feeding all these lies to journalists and feeding them the narrative. And her, Brianna Wu, they're all like many heads of the same fucking Hydra, and they're the reason why political discussion on the internet is so fucked up right now, right? Oh man, I love blood sports. I love blood sports. I like the fact that we can all talk, like finally just talk and hash out our differences.
Well, I think it's funny. I think it's funny we call them blood sports, I mean, back in the day, like back in the '90s, it was like called debate. I remember
Debates,
like
yeah.
I
Debates are
remember,
terrible. Fuck debates.
you know,
Let's-
I remember watching like Christopher Hitchens do his debates.
Oh God,
and
legend.
say what you will about him, if you like him or hate him, he made those things entertaining. And the
Yeah.
worst part about those debates was the moderator stopping them from having to talk. I'm like, just fucking
yeah.
hash it out.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's
you know-
the problem with debate. When you have this, like, debate is great for its
Moderator.
actual purpose. You know, for hashing out political differences and shit like that.
I feel like
When it comes
back
down to
to
actually
living
trying
in
real
times.
personal differences, you got to argue.
Yeah.
You don't
You
want to
go back-
debate. You don't want somebody stepping in to say, "Okay, time, your
Yeah,
turn."
fuck that. Yeah, like college debates is stupid as hell. Right? I don't mean like televised debates. I mean like those competitions, because what they'll do, and I'm not talking about Oxford. This is like American colleges. They'll just be spitting up point after point after point after point, and you can't even keep up with what they're saying. That's stupid. Like, what's the point of that? That's like
Because when you give a
extra
time
reviews.
limit, people have to cram what
Yep.
they can into that time
it's
limit.
terrible. It's awful. They're speaking in fucking 500 words per minute. You can't understand a single thing. It's vastly contrasted to Oxford when they have their debates. They're actually interesting. Like when you have Peter Hitchens arguing with, say, some feminist, it's actually interesting to listen to because there's no time limit. So they'll be speaking for like 2 hours, and it's fascinating stuff. I like the internet version of it more because people will call each other names and make fun. So it's more entertaining, right? It kind of reminds me of Greek times back. While the Spartans were killing each other in gladiatorial arenas and stuff, the Greeks were actually sparring and having these verbal arguments. The sophists versus like the philosophers, and it's like right now when listening to kind of harkens back to that. I dig it. It's funny we call it blood sports because it really isn't. There's no blood involved. No one's getting hurt. So,
Yeah,
Well, no,
I mean-
it's even funnier that that it's called blood sports now, and it's the term that's taken
It's irony.
popularity. But it's
Yeah,
a
it's a little
fucking joke
tongue-in-cheek.
that Medicare made to kind of
Yeah.
mock it a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's
Medicare
what
makes
ended up
another meme.
sticking.
He makes another meme. Like we was Kanks. That's his meme, right? He created that.
Oh shit! Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that came from Medicare.
Yeah, he made a video about the We Was Kangs, and that's what took off. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Medicare
He's
needs to
talking
put
about
more money so
Medicare.
I can get a Kang the Conqueror We Was Kang's issue. Just give me that.
Medicare is like an all-time legend. I mean, he just throws shit off, just shit posts, and it just turns into. I mean, he pretty much did that with Gamergate. I mean, what the
He
fuck? It's
Yeah, the
just
3 videos. Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
oh,
it
here
wasn't
it
Monday
is.
Matt who. Yeah, it wasn't Monday Matt who kicked it up. It was Medicare.
It was
Internet
Medicare. It was Five Guys, man. I mean, it was already
Yeah, Five Guys.
it was happening, but he took it and just blew it up into the fucking stratosphere. And I
Mhm.
don't know, this dude. And I don't know. I've always been a big fan of his and been cool with him and everything, but just objectively speaking, his meme ability, his talent online is just. It's like Jordan. It's like seeing Jordan in his prime. That's why whenever I know he's got some help.
Yeah,
He talks about maybe going
got-
away. and
he's
stuff.
got those rings. He's got all those
Yeah,
rings.
yeah, he just flashes those championship rings, and you can't say
Yeah.
shit. I mean, and then,
Okay,
oh
so,
man, if he ever gets in his
just
mind,
1 second here. We got $2 from Mr. Mouth, and even though Nightbot's not doing his thing for some reason, Samaj, I'm gonna need you for this.
Fuck.
He says,
Mem's
"Man,
just showing us in the
buy
chat.
a fucking razor and clean your shit up." And you know what? Personally, body hair is not my thing, but if you do you. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
care.
give a
I don't
fuck.
care.
If you got
I'm
body
not
hair.
married to.
You're
I'm
not
not
the
married to her,
missus.
so.
Exactly.
Right.
Mem
Yeah,
says
like-
she responded though. She says a nice waste of $2, bro. I'm not gonna shave my pits, but maybe you should super chat higher. I might change my mind. She's shilling the fuck out of us.
Nice.
Go, Mems.
Yeah.
There we go. If you donate high enough, maybe
Mems
she'll
might
do it
shave
for
her
you.
pits.
She might just do it. Yeah.
$50
I was gonna-
donation, and I'll shave my balls live on a stream.
We don't want to
Well,
watch
$100
I
donation.
did
I'll
wanna
shave
ask,
my
shut
balls.
down. Yeah.
No, you missed
don't-
the whole ogre situation. Don't do that. Don't
Oh
do
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah. Ogre
Hey,
situation.
I was here
Oh.
for Nick showing his nutsack. I already know.
Okay.
All right, I did
was
want to
gonna
ask though. Since we were talking about Medicare. Ian, do
Yeah.
you know what's going on with his health? Apparently something's up with him.
Is it?
No, he's
he,
been battling health. He's talked about his health issues for a while. I know he posted something on Patreon because I got an alert about it, and he just said his health was acting up, and he he doesn't want to get money for doing no work like a lot of these SJW Patreons where they don't really do
Right,
shit.
yeah.
So
He's
he
actually
talked about
putting stuff up.
so he said, hey, if I'm not able to fulfill what I set out to do at the beginning of this, which was certain video schedule, certain amount of content per week, per month, that I'm just gonna shut it down. And so a lot of people were trying to convince him otherwise. And
But he's got his principles. That's his thing, right? He doesn't want it.
well,
for
for the
publicity or
longest
anything
time,
like that.
he didn't even want to do a Patreon, and he wasn't really making
Yeah.
money off.
He had to be
at all.
convinced to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
People are like, we
and
want to reward you for your videos.
Yeah.
They're educational. They're good. They're entertaining. I mean, god damn it. Let us
and
pay
I
you.
think what he said was one of the things that convinced him is, he had some stuff going on in his life. He needs
Yeah.
the money, and he's got this talent, and so why not not take advantage? But
I heard he may be putting a hold on that though, because his health is.
yeah, that's what I'm.
for the
Yeah,
worst.
he might be. I don't
That's
know
what
if
he's
he's
talking about.
gonna end up
And,
doing
you-
it or not, but I don't know
the
what's
whole-
wrong with him. I mean, he hasn't shared that, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
The game
You know, he-
asking is if anybody on here has the balls to talk shit about Jim, and I just want him to know that nobody here wants to talk shit about Jim. His gaping, dripping asshole is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. Let's talk shit about him.
I mean, me
right,
personally, I would
have
never
nothing
talk
but-
shit about him because he kind of helped.
Dripping asshole.
He kind of helped put me on, man. I mean, at the beginning of Gamergate, him and Malo and other
Yeah.
people. He came, I got a stream with him
Yeah,
and
you-
Daniel
you-
Vavra,
yeah,
and
don't
we
be
did a lot of
ungrateful,
stuff
right?
together. Yeah, I would never take
Like there are people that who I've worked with in the past, and they're kind of unhinged nowadays. But I wouldn't shit talk them, not
Yeah.
publicly, not even to friends, because I mean I'm grateful for what they did. Like for instance, the person I told you about, who you got her job wrong. We're no longer friends, but I'm not a shit talker. I mean, I'm grateful for what she did for me. So yeah.
Even if I did think he did something wrong, which I really can't think of any, but I would, it's one thing. You can still just not talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah, you make a choice. So you make a choice to drag a person. Like, why even do that? Like, what's the point?
But Jim's instincts are pretty good. I can't really think of too many times I've even really disagreed with
the
him.
whole thing with Soy Boys. I was gonna say, the whole thing with Soy Boys. That's him too, isn't it? Like the whole Nintendo Switch thing, where all these fucking SJW men, they got little beards and little fucking glasses, and they're like excited about the Nintendo Switch, and they're like Mario, and they're making Wahoo sounds and shit. That's him. Like he was the one who made the collage of it on Twitter, and now it's taken off because whenever you see an SJW beta soy male, he's gonna have that stupid fucking avatar. It's like a thing.
He talked about the giant mouth opening thing that they're doing.
Yes.
God,
Yes,
that's so
yes.
cringy. I hate that so much.
Oh my god, you can fit 10 dicks in there. God damn it.
What did the
wait, Ian? I'm far too bearded to do that. Is there any chance we can get the soy boy face from you?
No, absolutely not.
Please.
No, no
please.
chance.
No chance.
I'll do it right now. Oh wait, that requires me turning on my camera. Oh,
Yeah. It would.
Samaj,
Samaj, turn on your
a
fucking Jared
cartoon?
from Subway looking ass camera.
Samaj, can we get a cartoon of Ian Miles Chong doing the soy boy face?
the funny thing is, I'm working on the thumbnail right now, and let's just say maybe. Maybe that's exactly what you're about to see.
Will we
I
get
don't
some
think my mouth
juicy
opens
titties?
that wide. My mouth does not open that wide.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You're making this very hard on me.
So let me ask something, because I've seen this in the chat a couple times. What did they say on the Kumite stream about you guys earlier? Because
I did get a
started some shit when he was
I'm
drunk.
actually interested myself because I didn't see it, and so I'm sitting here thinking, what did they say? What I don't know if you know. or if you guys heard.
if I started shit when I was drunk, then I saw the wrong part. I didn't watch the whole thing. I caught none of it live.
You did start shit when you were
actually.
drunk. Yeah. So
No,
He
I know.
I got
I
the story. I
started
got the whole
shit when I
story.
was drunk.
yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I'll let.
I'm
I'll
glad
let
that's
you all
never
know what
happened to me. Yeah. go ahead.
happened.
The idea of Schmecko starting shit when he's drunk. Oh my God, say it ain't so.
Yeah.
Shut the
So
fuck
what
up,
happened
faggot.
was Tonka got doxxed, right, by Destiny. He got doxxed by Destiny. Destiny was spreading his shit around.
Oh no, I
And,
know this bit. I invited
Yeah,
Destiny,
so he was-
which was a
Yeah,
bad.
you invited him, which is a bad thing to do because, Vamp was telling you, like, on the side chat and all, don't invite him. I mean, like, God damn it. Like, we don't want to talk to this guy. And you invited him anyway. And,
Okay.
like, it should be obvious, right? Like, you wouldn't want to invite somebody who had just doxed someone, they don't want to talk to this guy. He's a scumbag. Fuck him, right? Fuck this.
Yeah,
fuck
no,
this.
I fully understand that. That was definitely a fuck up on my part.
Yeah. All right. Glad we got that cleared up. Yeah. That was all it
Although
was, yeah.
I should say
that's not what. That's not the shit. That
I
started
should
the
say
AP.
the ability to boot him was not in my hands. That was firmly in failure's hands.
Yeah, that was the only time we had someone else controlling the stream.
But what they were saying today had nothing to do with that. It was criticism of the stream.
Okay,
so
Kumite was not shit talking the cunt stream.
Yeah,
Geek Zulu was shit talking the cunt
yeah.
stream.
People came in the country
The
and started saying
Kumite had some very legitimate criticisms of the
No,
cunt
I
stream.
was watching. I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing back when they were saying that AP was talking mad shit. He didn't say a goddamn thing. Everyone was trying to get him to talk shit. And he was like, "No, I like Schmeckle, man. He's like, he's all right. He's all right." Is he over there talking shit though? Like, what the fuck's going on?
No, I spoke with
The
Dandy.
chat
after
was
that.
stirring all kinds of shit. The chat
Yeah,
was just
he
trying to
assured
stir
me
shit
that I didn't go to check. I took Andy on his word, but he assured me that was just the chat fucking with us.
The chat was fucking with you, yeah.
Speaking of the chat, then Schmeckle, you want to take care of that super chat? No, I'll take care of my part.
I'm just gonna read these as words. I'm not gonna spell it out. Stop drinking. Save the show. Hint to shrink. Trust me, you have never met sober. You've never met sober Schmeckle. That would not save the show.
Oh, also, Schmeckles add this thing where every time we get a super chat, I have to moan at the end of it.
Man.
Fuck you.
Could you be a little sluttier with the moans? I'm just,
No.
I'm
Yeah,
halfway
I would
there.
like
I
it
just
if
need
you'd
to
sound
finish.
more like Brockus' sister.
You know what? I need
Yeah.
a reason to be more slutty, and I mean the super chat's gotta make it rain.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll
that's
say-
true. The larger you make it rain, the more Samaj will
Memorial
moan.
Moan.
Where's
You know what?
You gotta
Where's
tickle him
the-
in the right way.
just spam us with like dollar donations.
Well, you know what, chat? Everyone in the chat here, you need to tweet out that link, get the numbers up, and then maybe we can convince other people to do it for you. Maybe I'll be a total whore for that.
Oh, you got your
Oh,
first
for a lot
donation
of
from Mr. Mouth. So, guy in a hat. That's an
$2
ugly fucking hat.
Wait, what was that?
Guy in a hat. That's an ugly fucking hat.
Oh,
Mr. Mouth, by the way, is great. Great.
It's not the most attractive hat in the world. I got it off of a homeless man who told me that it had magical properties. It turns out all it had was a weird sort of AIDS that seeps in through the forehead.
It smells like cold cuts.
Actually, it smells like coconut. It smells delightful. It just AIDS, lots of AIDS.
The hat looks like something that like a Haitian voodoo priest would wear. Like something you got in New Orleans or something. Yeah, like a voodoo practitioner. It's like you're Baron Mundy now.
Are you saying that Schmeckle has friends on the other side?
Yeah.
I got no goddamn friends on the other side. Whenever I get there, I got bad shit in store. I've made some deals that I have not fulfilled.
They butt fucked me, and I didn't even know how many there were.
So anyway, back to the topic at hand. Ian already said his bit. He obviously said some mean things about you. You also being a journalist, were there any? Did you write anything in return?
I did. I mean, I wrote about, as he mentioned, the when he was, there was a warrant out for his arrest. I reported that there was a warrant out for his arrest, and I kind of trashed him a little bit in it.
And would you say a little bit of that was a response, reaction, a retaliation to what he had written?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I mean, like, it was irritating to have, his articles brought up over and over again. But I would say that it was mostly I didn't like him.
This is personal, was it?
I wouldn't say the article itself is personal, but like the motivation behind writing it, like, oh, I wanted to write it. That was, the motivation was there. But the article itself was, I don't think it was wrong because, I mean, he did have a fugitive warrant, and I wasn't aware fully of the situation. I mean, nobody would give me a comment, for example, for why
Now,
they had
wait,
a warrant out for him.
Let me ask this to troll a little bit. Did you reach out and ask me for comment before?
For you, no, unfortunately.
Okay. But you know what? I can't talk too much shit because I've done the same things plenty of times.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
So-
yeah, if you had reached out to me before, and I probably would have reached out to you. Yeah, I didn't feel like you even want to talk to me at the time.
So are you guys both saying that you're both journalists and you didn't do your job?
Well, I will say that I'm pretty much. I never tried to claim the journalist like hat or whatever. I would call myself more of a muckraker was the title I like to use, or just a shit poster, really, whatever you want to call it. More of an analyst or a pundit or somebody, because when I write an article, I don't make any claims to objectivity.
Right.
Or sometimes if it's about somebody that I like or something, I'll say, hey, this is who I like, and I'm still covering this, and just put all my chips on the table. But when you read an article on my site, it's going to be infused with my opinion, and it's going to probably have some barbs thrown at people I don't like, because that's just how I write. So it's not written as an objective.
You're
source.
you're not like Gawker, where they claim to be journalists, and then when people call them out, they're like, oh, we're not really journalists, we're just muckrakers. No, I mean, you've never made the claim to be a journalist.
Right.
That's the thing,
I don't. I still remember the very first Gamergate stream I came on. They're like, "Oh, you're a journalist covering Gamergate." I'm like, "Nah, not really." I wouldn't claim that title. Oh, they didn't kind of understand, but eventually, I think I got the point across.
Oh, 1 second. I would like to point out somebody in the chat is sucking my dick. Stan Ulch says Schmeckel is a fucking genius compared to Worski. That stuttering idiot lets his guests lead him around by the dick, in my opinion, of course. A tool that lets itself get used for popularity. Stan Ulch, I am far from a genius. I am doing far more poorly than Worski, so I think he's got the better formula. If somebody wants to lead me around by the dick, just send me pictures.
It does seem to be working out pretty
And
well.
if you want to give me
$20,000 a month, $20,000 a month. I'm pretty sure he's winning any fight.
You know what? Andy's doing better.
It's working. It's working for him. Like, people can, say that he's letting people lead him around by the dick or whatever. But the way I see it is, like, he's got a winning formula. He lets people have arguments with each other, and they're using him as a platform, but he's using them too. I mean, their drama is now his profit. So
exactly.
Brilliant job.
So what you're trying to say here is that he's basically Jerry Springer.
No,
that's what
it's even more than that. He lets his guests lead him around by the dick. What that basically means is Andy sits back and takes a backseat, right? He lets his guests just go at it. You know what that says to me? He's making a shitload of money with minimal effort. That's what I want.
I think JF and Andy are turning into the YouTube Opie and Anthony. They're just it's their radio show, but they have.
I will say the alt-right thing has gotten a little old. I've heard enough of the same topic over and over.
Yeah, that's why I want to talk about.
So as a result, I've stopped watching Morski Live. It's the same shit over and over. JF was a bad idea. Bring back.
It's a soap opera.
See, I feel like I'm just now getting into it, you know what I mean? Because I've been in jail for all these months. And I came out and they're just like, wow, Ralph, shit is popping off. You really.
The new Worski Live is still new to you.
Yeah, exactly.
We've already had it.
Shit, man. I mean, you should get on Morski Live and have an argument with somebody.
I would watch that.
No. You should. Nathan, go on the Kumite and fight.
I'll go on anything anybody's offering.
Go on both, man. Go on both.
I've done 4 streams this week, and I'm just trying to let everybody know I'm out. And
who have you been on with? I mean, this is
I did my own stream. I went on with my friends at New Media Central. I did a stream with this comedian dude, Louis B. mostly smaller channels. And I did a street last night with Orwell and Good and my friend Battle Beagle, and who's a great.
Orwell Good's pretty good. I want to talk to him one day. I interact with him a lot on Twitter, but I've never been on a stream.
He's hot as fuck on Twitter. I mean, I'll get a little jealous of his retweet count sometimes. He's really rolling. But yeah, those are good guys, Beagle and all them. And so we had a good time last night. I enjoyed that. Then I'm here tonight, doing the stream with you guys. Which, by the way, thank you for having me on. And
yeah, you're welcome anytime. You've been
tomorrow. Originally, we were gonna do it. Oh, thank you.
Smeckle promised you were giving out reach arounds. That's the only way.
Oh well, maybe I learned a couple tricks in jail. But and tomorrow night. Originally, we were gonna do it on Saturday night, but tomorrow night, my wife's coming into town, so it's been.
Did you meet her in prison?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have an emotional connection with her, do you?
Conjugal visit.
I don't know if he understands the emotional connection thing. He's been in jail for 8 months.
You can learn him the ways.
You will learn the way, brother.
You will learn the way. You will spit
Emotional
on
connection.
You will get Ebola. It'll be fine.
Your Ebola smells like AIDS.
We got $5 from Mems saying, Samaj, you ready? You're gonna have to moan extra. It's memory.
I will.
All right, favorite drinking songs.
I'm kind of fond of
Question
a
is for
certain
all of
pirate
you.
song somebody
Yes,
did.
even you, Ralph. Yeah, that one was a good one.
That was quite a good one. Yep.
Favorite? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Favorite drinking songs? I don't know. I listen to sometimes a lot of sad shit when I get drunk. So I don't know. Maybe sometimes I get into my feelings. I don't know. Wild Horses I like to listen to if I'm sad drunk, I like to listen to Wild Horses and just feel depressed.
How about Goodbye Horses?
Well, before
the
you
only
guys,
song that comes to mind when I get really drunk that I want to listen to is the Safety Dance.
yeah. Well, before you go too far, I have to fulfill my part. Oh,
Samaj, that wasn't good enough. You're gonna have to try again.
Yeah. For me, oh my god.
my mother's in the
That
next.
was still pretty lame.
Yeah.
My mother's in the next room, you fuckers. All
Well,
right.
then do it louder. I want your mommy to hear.
No, Mama
man.
Samaj, don't listen, don't listen.
You got to do the Japanese girl being like, "Oh, don't have sex with me," and do it in like Japanese.
It'll
It's
be
the
just like
funniest
when
fucking
she
thing.
walked on him being a cam whore again. It'll be
Now that I think about it, though,
Did you know that saying cam whore now can get you banned on Twitch? Calling somebody a cam whore?
oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, hold on
Yeah.
a second.
no,
Let me tweet
can't
this on
calling
my-
somebody a cam whore on Twitter get you banned on Twitch?
Twitch.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's some fucked up shit.
Because I understand what they're doing. Basically, cutting down on drunk streams, on the real life booby streams. This fucking thing is littered with like titty streamers, right? So they want to cut down on those because they're getting a lot of flack for that from other streamers, mind you. And also they want to cut down on the whole harassment and bullying outside of Twitch, which from my understanding, I was talking to people inside of Twitch who said that this is very likely a response to Destiny and the shit that he's been doing outside of Twitch. Right? He gets people to harass people on Reddit and so on. So they actually made a rule just for him. Pretty funny.
Now let me say something. What is everybody else's song? Because I was the only one that.
Oh yeah. I was gonna go on.
Now, well, I will say
You're not
this.
the only one. I gave my very personal answer as well.
Okay, you're right.
Mine too.
You're right. Okay. 2.
Well, mine
I didn't
was
answer.
Mem's song, actually. That is honestly my newest favorite drinking song. It's the one Mems did.
Mine, I would go with like anything by the National. Anything by the National. Yeah.
I don't really drink, so I don't really have a song.
You lying motherfucker! You drink enough that you got a goddamn song.
No, I don't.
Tell us your song.
Is it "Kiss from a Rose," Samaj?
No.
God damn it! That's our song.
I thought seals were your spirit animal.
No. The last couple times I've ever really been drunk, I've been on streams, so I was always talking with you guys. So I never really had a song to listen to. I was just bitching about
from
people.
now on, every time you're drunk, you need to tell me. I'll put on some nice soft background music. That way you'll get it implanted in your mind. When I'm drunk, I will think of this song and schmeckle.
No.
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 I'm just trying to make your night go better. Maybe it'll make it. Maybe you won't need lotion this way.
Schmeckle, I will dedicate a drunk song to you at some point or another. It'll probably be something Irish rock, something from Flogging Molly, most likely.
The
There we
Rolling
go.
Stones, man, their whole catalog is good. Now that I think about it, when I'm drunk, Tumbling Dice, man, I can just love the Stones. Now, back when I used to smoke weed, of course, that's not something I do anymore. But I used to listen to Pink Floyd whenever I'd get high. Not every time.
That's pretty good.
The Stones would have been a lot better if they had a singer
songs
that
or drunk songs.
Drinking
Oh,
songs.
just drug songs in general. Yeah,
No, I thought we were talking about drinking songs.
yeah, we
Like,
were.
I
I just threw that in there because I
Okay.
wanted to mention. I just wanted.
I thought I was misunderstanding the
Nah,
concept.
I just threw that in.
My drinking song is either Drunken Lullabies from Flogging Molly or Irish pub song from Rum Jacks. But sometimes I just got to listen to that goddamn pirate shanty that Mems does. And that's like, I'll go back and forth between those three songs.
Yeah, there's.
Mims can thank me for getting her question fully addressed here. I'll appreciate that.
Yeah. Fully addressed. You got everybody's answer, except for Samaj because he's a piece of shit. You're 33. Hey, you've only been doing this shit for what, 2 years? When you were young, what the fuck did you listen to when you drank?
I didn't really listen to anything. But usually I just
He's busy drinking
in the dark and drink.
No,
He
I
had
always
his fucking rocking chair, his whiskey.
you're gonna find it
You
hard.
just sit there and sip.
You're gonna find this hard to believe, but most of the times I ever really would get drunk is when I was with my girlfriend, and most of the time
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
So
I was living with her. So
you're 33. So you haven't really gotten drunk since you were what, like 23, 24.
Since I broke up, look, I did get drunk when I'm on streams with you guys, but like I said before, I don't listen to music. And prior to that, when we get drunk with my girlfriend, we usually just have sex. And then
during the whole sad part of your life, where you built toward a decade of no sex, you weren't getting drunk.
I know that drinking is
you know what? I'm gonna make this easy. Mems, Samaj's answer is Piano Man.
I don't even know what that song is.
It seems like a nice sad song.
Actually, I've listened to that song quite a few times while drinking too. I won't sing it.
Anyway, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Samaj is in charge. Make sure nobody sings.
Yeah.
No sing. Unless you have a beautiful voice, then you can sing.
We had that one guy with a beautiful voice. We need to get him back.
What guy?
I can't remember his name. He was just some random guy. We were on the stream. He could really sing. He was really good.
Yeah, that dude.
And
shocked everybody.
Fucking, he looked like a soy boy, but my God, he had the voice of an angel, which I guess would work for a soy boy.
Incredible Aspie.
Oh yes, the Incredible Aspie. Yes.
No, you know what, Schmeckle, your song is not Piano Man. It is "Fuck You, I'm Drunk" by Flogging Molly.
Oh, Samaj.
Huh?
So wait, Schmeckle was saying Samaj's song was Piano Man.
Yeah, he tried to pick a song for me.
Yeah, no. Samaj, your song is "Fuck You, I'm Drunk."
Okay. I mean, my favorite song is "Song 2" by Blur.
Is scream that at Schmeckle every time he gives you shit. Just scream, "Fuck you, I'm drunk."
Fuck you, I'm drunk.
That should be your new catchphrase. Will you make thumbnails and shit out of it? That should be your new shit thing there, Samaj. I
don't think that YouTube will let you put the fuck in the.
Our stream name is Cunt Stream.
That's
It's like,
yeah.
Yes,
I think that ship's
you
already
cannot
sailed.
use that as an excuse. Fucking here, you can't use that as an excuse here.
You know what surprises me is that we're still running. I mean, I thought with something like the Cunt Stream, like this will only be around for like maybe a month max. It's like what been like over a year and a half. Like, how the fuck are we still here?
Because there's a lot of jackasses like me watching it.
I
keep it on the
guess.
radar.
I thought we would have had like strikes or something, or maybe the rules are different for streams, because we would say we actually tried to get a strike one time, so we'd say like every bad word imaginable.
They do seem to let a lot more go on streaming, don't
On
they?
streams, yeah.
Oh, you know
it's
what?
only
I
when
know-
you put out a video. Oh God, they just cut it off.
I know what it is. It's the power of Malevolent Rider and King Carl combined on YouTube. That's what keeps you going.
Quit licking Ryder's asshole.
I
Just
will
enough of
lick
that at
Ryder's
home.
asshole all I want. Oh yeah!
I love making that accusation because the only way you can defend it is to be like, I'll lick whoever's fucking asshole I want, bro. Fuck you for trying to tell me
God
whose
damn it,
asshole
Carl, I
can't lick.
just fucking said good things about you. Now you're saying Celts are fucking niggery too. You son of a... I'm Celtic.
No, I'm sorry. I heard about some asshole licking when I came back. Rob, are you licking assholes again?
No, it's a
Malevolent Riders,
Brockus is licking.
Oh,
is
it's
licking
Brock
Ryder's
licking the
asshole.
assholes. Ryder
Rick
has, I'm sure, a very shiny asshole. It's probably
Oh,
okay
yeah.
to lick.
Oh, it's got a spit shine on it. Brockus is he takes the job seriously. He's got a good work ethic.
Yeah,
Because I spit on the false queen. I must spit. I must spit my brothers.
So, Ian,
Yeah.
maybe you remember this, because I kind of forgot. There was that, I think it was E3, where they were showing like an indie game, which was like a pixelated.
The last night. I know
Thank
what you're
you.
talking
I was trying to
about.
remember
Yeah.
I was trying to remember the name of that game because it looked so fucking good, but then I wasn't sure if the controversy with the fucking tweet was still a problem.
They still try to drag it out. They still write articles about it. I mean, these people don't let up. They want to destroy this guy's career. But I think his game's going to sell really well. It's probably going to be very good. And people who are not interested in the drama, they're going to see it and they're going to buy it. So I don't think, who the fuck even reads game journals anymore, right? No one reads their shitty websites. And from what I can see, the game looks so good, people probably are going to stream it. People are going to, talk about it on YouTube. So that's what's going to drive sales, not fucking shitty PC Gamer or, IGN or whatever the fuck.
Kotaku.
Who in this chat totally just want to ask this? Who's getting Kingdom Come Deliverance? I know you're getting it, Ian.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
There's
hell
zero doubt in my mind that you're getting it. But is anybody? I'm getting it too. I'm just wondering if anybody else
I'm
in
not
here.
familiar with it.
Oh man,
I can't afford
Oh.
shit like that, especially not like pre-delivery and shit like that.
I am
I'm
very
excited
hyped
for
to play it.
fucking Far Cry 5, man.
Oh, yeah. That looks good too.
Sick.
That's this month, right? That's this month, right? Far Cry 5?
Maybe.
Uh,
I've never played a single Far Cry game, but since I saw the trailer, I want to play this game. It looks so
Far Cry,
good.
Yeah, but it's fucking
Yeah.
sweet. The last one was awesome.
Yeah.
Jordan Pickleson says, Ian sounds less diabetic, and then he says, I mean Ralph. Fuck. Okay.
Oh,
First of all,
speaking of
I
games,
have-
speaking of games, Ian, how is Shadow of the Colossus? How'd you like it?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like so large, it's vast, right? It's insane. So I want to explain what Kingdom Come Deliverance is and why there's like a controversy around it. So Ralph knows all this stuff, but basically it's set in Bohemia, like medieval Bohemia. That's like the Czech Republic nowadays, right? It's set in like the 13th century or something like that, and it's basically super realistic, right? It's a huge land. It's kind of like Skyrim in that regard. The sword fighting's all realistic. Like they actually got historians, sword fighters to model the stuff in game, to ask them about all the stuff that happened. And now the reason why it's controversial is because fucking SJWs are insisting that there were black people in Bohemia in the 12th century, and no, there weren't. No, there were not. There were the Turks, and they're in the game, and there's Jews who are also in the game, but there's no fucking black people in the game, because why would there be Africans in the middle of Europe? God damn it! And they're like, but Spain had a lot of black people there. They had a lot of trade with with Africa, and like, is Spain Bohemia? Is it the two same places? No, it's like fucking thousands of miles apart. You dummy! God damn it!
Two things here. Would you like to point out, Ethan, why you sound less diabetic?
Yeah, I was talking about in the chat. I lost 100 pounds while I was in jail. through
Yeah,
just
I was
like,
looking at your profile picture. You're looking sharp, man. I was like, do I have the right fucking Twitter account, man?
I appreciate that. Yeah, I just started watching what I eat. You get fruit every morning there in jail, so I would stockpile fruit, trade other people for their fruit, and yeah, just working out 5 days a week, sometimes 6 or 7. Doing I talked about a little bit on some of these other streams, but doing gaiters, doing back arm exercises and push-ups. And I could barely do 10, 20 push-ups when I first started all that there in the big house. And by the time I left, I was doing 300 to 500. So yeah, it definitely you just feel better. So
We have to remember that when you're in jail, there's really not much you can do. So working out's like one of the only activities you do to pass the time.
that's true. Plus, it just makes you feel better. So we'd do it in the morning, and you just get up and work out, and have your
I've been
little
losing
snack
weight
right
too.
after.
Yeah. Exercise.
Don't let you see all the fame, Like I've been, I've lost about 12 pounds in the past 18 days, and
That's
a lot of
pretty
shit.
good.
yeah, a lot of shit. I've been dieting. I've been, having protein shakes in the morning and the evening, so I don't get hungry. I don't, eat trash anymore. No more, fried chicken, for example. I've been working out like an hour a day. I do cardio an hour a day. It's pretty good.
The protein is key because it keeps you feeling satiated. So we didn't have protein shakes in there. They did have protein bars, but they charged $2.75 per bar. So I didn't order those off commissary, but I ordered tuna. Tuna
works.
is tuna is like god food because it's just I already love tuna anyway. So I would do tuna, and you eat after you work out, have a protein dose, and that helps your muscles repair themselves and stuff, helps you build strength. So yeah, it's just good, man. Yeah, I know that I was obese, not just overweight, obese for a good 20 years, and now I think technically I'm still overweight by like 15 pounds. For my height, I'm supposed to be 170 and I'm 185, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I plan to keep it going. It's not something you can just do and it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm good.
That's awesome, man.
Pretty much something you got to keep rolling with. That's the key. A lot more temptation out here, so just trying to keep it going. Yeah, and I appreciate all the good comments. That's one thing that helps too. You see a lot of positive reinforcement, a lot of good comments, and it just makes you not want to gain that weight back. Definitely for one, because you're gonna, man, you let yourself go, Ralph. You gained all that weight back. What the fuck, dude? So that's motivation too, to be honest.
And if you gain it all back, I hope there's going to be a cunt stream called.
Oh yeah!
Hey, look how fat Ethan got.
Damn, man, you really fucking went back. What the fuck? Yeah, I would.
Oh, look at that fat motherfucker over there.
Look at that fat fuck.
Make 10 fucking thumbnails, dude. That will just keep throwing them up and laughing at you the whole stream.
Samaj is not going to be flattering in the thumbnail. He's going to make you a fat motherfucker.
I could draw a fat guy with a skull head. I can make it happen. You'll look cool while being a morbidly obese fat fuck.
No, I got real lucky in that recently. My roommate started a health food business that he sells out of gyms now. It's fucking killing it. Fucking, it's taken off all over New Mexico. But I eat all his fucking leftovers and fucking, all the shit he can't sell. So I just have an unending supply of good fucking amazing food. It's really awesome.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah.
God damn it. Oh,
Is that a cat? Is that a cat?
What? Who's cat?
Is that a cat sound? I don't know. It sounded like a cat.
Yeah, that was definitely a cat. I'm pretty much certain.
Yeah. The hell is that?
There was again. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That was my chair squeaking.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Your chair sounds like a fucking cat.
No, I kicked the cat. The cat is it's cat skin chair.
Yeah, the cat's inside the cushion.
So there may be a voice box left in there, with some air trapped in there somewhere in the chair.
This is why your brother's better than you.
He wishes he was better than me. Oh God! Oh
no, it's as far as the whole Mark Rob argument goes. I did pick Rob rather as a host for my show. I'm not saying that's a point for Mark, but I think Mark wins.
Yeah. No, he it's real nice of you guys to patronize him like this. It's really good for his self-esteem.
It makes him feel
special
good.
kids like that.
You know, your
Yeah,
mother
they
never
need
did
the
it.
reinforcement.
We all know
They
she
really
loved
need
you
the
more,
reinforcement.
so you know, somebody's got to be nice to him. Mark, I will always put your pictures on the fridge. Unless they're shit.
your macaroni pictures always have a place on my fridge.
It's a kitty.
Oh, that's good stuff. King Carl says he's quoting Boogie 1488. Juice tastes like brisket.
Okay. I don't want to know why Carl knows that, but okay.
It's a quote
No,
from Boogie.
apparently that's
I mean,
straight out of
obvious.
the mouth of Boogie.
I know. How do you
1488.
think Boogie got so fat? His steady diet of brisket.
Gross.
You're not going to gain a whole lot of weight from dead Jews. They're mainly ashes.
Oh.
It's
You
not a
can
high
make
weight
chocolate
diet.
milk with them.
I disavow. I just want to say.
I disavow that last statement.
Yes, Ian and Ethan would both like to protect their careers by saying that joke was entirely the idea of Samaj.
What?
Not at all them.
I said nothing of the sort.
It came out of his
We all
mouth.
heard it.
Look, I'm just minding my own business. I didn't say nothing.
It might be
fine.
too late for me to disavow anything now, though, that I think about it with all the shit I've said. And
Well, let me
just
tell
kind of
you.
jail. It's probably too late. That shit might have sailed as well.
Well, let me
Long
tell you.
time ago.
Coming on a stream called the Cunt Stream. I'm pretty sure Brianna Wu is watching, and your life is over. And technically, all our lives are over.
Yeah, because we invited Ian, Brianna Wu is eventually going to end up seeing this shit. And, you know, she's going to throw some moon rocks on us. Where it's going to be a bad situation for everyone
Ground
involved.
zero.
They have 100 times the power of a nuclear bomb. I'm not sure I could survive that.
And we have to get up there before Russia does and hoards all the good moon rocks.
Exactly. I mean,
we're gonna get up there second.
They can have all the pebbles. We're going to take fucking boulders. Take
Guys,
this to Russia.
Stop trying to stop my death, okay? It's inevitable. I want it to come soon. Damn it.
Anyway, at this
if
point,
you want to die, I can kill you.
Rob,
I promise
it
to
has
make
to
it
be
mostly
weird.
painless.
It has to be a weird death.
Oh, I can do weird.
Death by moonrock.
Hi, I'm Robert. Have we
death
met?
by-
Brockus, if you want a weird death, Samaj also needs to get laid. We can work something out.
Oh,
We have-
Samaj. What you thinking?
I saw
man,
a thing. I saw a thing where this kid, right? He was looking at the sky or something, and a fucking meteorite went straight through his hand and left a hole there.
huh? Oh wow.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah, it's real. Like it was on the news like some years ago. Yeah, his
That's
hand
awesome.
was just a fucking hole in it, just burned right through. He didn't feel a thing. It just went straight through.
Hypnagogic Monk in the chat says Brianna Wu has a bigger dick than the Kunstrom. If I got a fucking dick
man.
installed, I would get one of the big models too.
Yeah.
You know, you
Did
decide to
nobody
go
see
for
the
woman to
thumbnail?
male, you don't ask for the tiny dick. I'm assuming her dick is probably massive. Oh wait, no, she
actually,
went-
Brianna Wu,
Oh.
yeah, it does. There's no equipment there because we had recordings from where she undergoing the transition and actually had the dick cut off and all that. Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
so she's fully she.
It's gone. Yeah.
He seems very masculine to me still.
I actually saw Wu in person, and that is a big motherfucker, dude. I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
Very tall, gangly, just
Like 6'4" or some shit, right?
yeah,
really tall.
it's really tall, man, like really tall, and it's something else to see in person. I'll tell you, it's
Man, that face.
a little bit.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
Wu was gonna take a swing at me. To be honest, I was kind of hoping that would happen, so I could
Was
see
her
it.
midget
That would be
Asian
so
husband there?
hilarious.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh god.
Oh.
His
Pretty much, I
size
don't know.
only makes her look so much taller, and it's.
Yeah, he
Oh,
reminded me
no.
of Jimmy Hart. I don't know how many wrestling fans there are listening to this stream, but
I know who that is.
yeah,
I know what that is. Yeah.
okay, that's who he reminded me
Yeah, I
of.
know that.
Like her manager, her hype man, Jimmy Hart, walking around. That's who he reminded me of.
Ian, you now have to dress up like Jimmy Hart for Halloween.
God, could
Anyway,
anyone could any of you imagine marrying Brianna Wu?
No!
Honestly,
No.
No,
let's just
don't
have
want
a
to.
silence for her
It's
husband.
a nightmare. A nightmare. You're asking me to imagine a nightmare. Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
I want if I marry a woman, it's gonna be a woman that I'll have sex with, and if I'm gonna have sex with a woman, the vagina has to have been there since the time she popped out of the fucking womb.
If I ended up
Preferably
marrying
before
Brianna
that.
Wu, I would hang myself and just like end up on a Logan Paul video.
Just got
Anyway,
give him a heads up. Hey Logan, you think you may wanna
Rob, God damn it! I'm trying to end the fucking thing. At this point, we're gonna wrap the fuck up. Tonight, actually, Samaj, that's your job. Tell us who we've had.
Today we've had Brockus, Ian Miles Cheong, Robert Schmeckel, Ralph Report, whatever, and me.
Retort. You're
Retort.
not the only
Retort.
one to make that mistake, but yes.
They're bad. I don't know why you picked that word. Anyway, that's all of us. Thanks.
Wait,
Alright.
when you picked the cunt stream, I don't know that you have any room to criticize. Thank you guys for having me on. I'll say
Now,
that.
I would like to
appreciate
ask
that.
before we end. Ethan, you guys friends now? You all good?
It's cool
Sure.
with me, man. Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you.
All
back.
right, yeah, definitely. I'll follow you in. It was good talking to you, man. I never actually. He said that at the beginning. We never, talked to each other. So yeah, I feel like we had a good stream here.
Can we get a
Yeah.
doc?
Yeah, we did.
Is this sign of peace? Is a show of peace? A
As,
docking
as
session?
far as I'm concerned, it's peace, man. It's all good with me.
Peace.
And then they
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, there's always the white power symbol.
Just to show your unity.
There you go.
A white power
There
symbol.
we
White
are.
power symbol.
There's a thumbnail.
Now I'm gonna be on the fucking SPLC's list. Everybody else.
And that's the end of the fucking cunt stream. Cunts. Tune in tomorrow for another fucking cunt stream. Tomorrow we have hopefully Memory Holiday. That's it. Get the fuck out of here.